Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is the early morning modeler, more like the early afternoon modeler today. Um, it's been a long time since I've been live with anything on the channel, so I thought I would go and do something today, kind of off the cuff. What I'm doing here is installing some sill shims or sill plates with shims on this Hunterline Snow Shed that's going in here, and you can see where the roof line and everything is going to go. And these are the sill plates. This is for the deflector plate that angles up into the side, this side of the snow shed. And these are the plans, which I'm modifying quite a bit. I have two portals that I'm going to be installing or using, one for the low line, one for the high line on my railroad from the sector plate that's behind this little structure here. This is kind of going to be where the scenery starts for the layout. This barn type structure houses the sector plate and it's kind of the operational side, the off railroad side, if you will, of the railroad. So what I'm doing is I'm going to try to tack these in place so that I can build each one of these bents out on a jig and be fairly close, I hope, on the roof line to make sure it's level and plumb and all that good stuff. I've got a level here on this back sill plate, and it's level right now, front to back, side to side. All these are pretty much easy down here. They're all pretty much level already. The only thing I'm having trouble with is keeping these, or the only problem I think I'm going to have is keeping these in place. This isn't so bad because I'm into some styrofoam here. Not a big deal. Pretty easy to punch these T-pins in and keep this thing pretty straight, side to side, front to back. These, on the other hand, as you can tell, this Sculptamold is hard as can be, and getting a T-pin to sink into that is slim and none. And I don't really want to hammer a nail in there because once I get this built in place, going to be difficult to get in between each one of the bents to pry out a nail. So what I bought was some Tack-It, and it's by Aileen's, and apparently you can reposition things over and over with this stuff. So I'm going to make just some dots of glue on the bottoms of these things and square them up, get them lined up, and hopefully this will hold it in a temporary spot so that when I get done building this, I hopefully can just easily pry this out of position and take it off the layout to do, the weathering. I'm going to have to touch up the ends where the cuts are made and all that good stuff. And then I also want to take it to a show and have it judged with my NMRA group, just for fun, just to see what people think of it. It's going to be kind of a lengthy project, but hopefully I can have it done by April when I'm supposed to be on a layout tour and can kind of build in, maybe part of a signature scenery or scene on the railroad itself that kind of defines what it's going to be here and throughout the railroad. So let's get started with tacking this stuff down and seeing if we can make this a feasible solution for a temporary setup here. So I've got a little piece of cardboard under here to kind of shim that up And what I'll do once I get this built, I'll plop some more Sculptamold in at different points and spots here. Like for instance, this is hanging off the edge here. So I'll carefully build up some Sculptamold here and set that snow shed right down into it. And that way it's affixed. That's the plan right now. Don't know if I want to do that for sure, because I would like to be able to remove it if I need to, but then again, may not need to. Don't know why I would, other than if I wanted to have it judged at another contest or something. But we'll see. I've got time to change my mind, I guess, to decide on what I'm going to do there. So what I think I'm going to do is work from back to front. And I'm going to take this out of here. And first we need to open up the glue. Need to cut the end of the nozzle off. Open that up. Don't want to lose the lid. So I'm just going to carefully take that out, lay that here, and I think I'm just going to draw a bead on this, lay that in there like that. Okay, let's make sure that this somewhat lines up like it should. Got my trusty triangle. So I'm going to move this one down, get him out of the way. And that is pretty square looking there. All right. It doesn't look great, but it's going to have to do. I don't know. I really don't want to tack this down in too many points, but I think I'm going to end up doing it on at least 3 of these plates and maybe 1 in the back, maybe 2 in the back. Just try that and see what happens. Put that back down. Lay it in here. See how that works. All right. And that's kind of movie. It kind of moves a little bit. It's a little wobbly, not exactly really stable. I'm just going for level, and that looks good there. Man, that's not gonna work. Let's see. Let's make sure it's square first. That's probably a good thing to do. That looks good. I might need to shim up along the edge of that. And I've just got some regular cardboard here. I'm just going to make a little piece to shim. I think if I can get that off under here, I think that's going to make that feel a little better. And all I'm going for is just a way to take and measure this distance for the bent. This has got to set in here. And that's going to center. This is a 12 by 12. This is I think it's well, let's see. I could look at the plans. That would help. The the bent plate is a 10 by 18. So that centers, the 12 by 12 centers on the 10 by 18. And as long as I can keep maybe this front glued down, that will hold it and keep it in place. And it's just, I really want to be able to have a repeatable cut. This, as you can tell, this track inclines here. And I was thinking about just letting it go with the contour of the land and then cut one of these each custom as I went. But it would be that they would be getting shorter as I go. And that's a lot of fiddly fooling around. And I don't know that I really want to get into that so much. I'm thinking that this, making it level, making it so that I can make a repeatable cut and sand in for the top, and then just the length, would make it a lot easier to build instead of trying to monkey around. And I've got a guideline here. This is too tall. I sat it in there without the sill plates. So I'm going to have to shorten these up a little bit, which isn't any big deal. I'll just do that after I get my sill plates affixed and temporarily in place. So let's check out, let's get this out of the way so I don't knock it down and possibly break it. And so the next one is here. And this, not only does this incline coming up, it angles out that way a little bit. It's not totally straight out of the gate there, which makes it interesting. For whatever reason, I did that. I guess it's because I wanted to get, the sector plate. I didn't want it too much of an angle or too much of a curve off of that. So I just kind of gradually curved it up and out along the back of the high line there. Just something interesting to look at, something that's not a complete, just straight shot, for the lack of a better reasoning. But we'll leave this here. I think that's going to work. And let's square this one up just to make sure that's going to work good. Yep. All right. And I think what I'm going to do is dot the back pretty good here. 2 places, and 2 spots up front. And this should, I would think this should hold pretty good here because the fact that that's just a flat piece of styrofoam insulation there. Let's square it up, which it's not. Now it is for the most part. Yeah, good. Tack that down. Okay, we'll leave that go. Move this one out of the way. Make sure we're level here. That looks good. And kind of not touching there, but we're touching out here and we're touching back here. So we'll just do it on the back pad, the back shim, maybe. If I can get some glue come out. There we go. Got that gooped up. We'll hit 2 or 3 of these out here. You can see that. And we'll plop it in there. Let's see how square we are with this. Not too much. too square. Let's see. Here we go. That's better. All right. Yep. I like that. I'll leave him there. Good. And then we got this last single one that's going to go here. And just don't like the fact that it's hanging on the edge there, but it is what it is. I don't have it built up yet. I guess I could have done that some more, but hindsight's 2020 on this deal. That's still nice and level looking. And then we'll just spot glue this one and just kind of along the edge of these. Hopefully that'll hold it. So let's see what we get. Never used this before, so it's kind of an interesting idea. Hold on, let's see. Need it on the other edge. Clean that off of there. Schmutz. Need it on these edges. Just dot these. Probably these 5. They say it's positional and repositional, so we'll test that theory out as we go here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, square it up would be a good idea. Oh, I got that one pretty close on my own. This just doesn't look right to me over here. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that I must have moved it or something, but okay, that looks better. That looks more parallel to me, just by eye. Cool. All right, so let's get this dude locked in here as best as we can. Take these pins out because they're just going to get in the way anyhow of trying to glue the other timbers in. So I'll just deposit those back into that thing there. I dropped one. I got to find it before somebody else finds it in their bare feet. Where did you go? All right. Oh. It's not good, but it is what it is. Oh, maybe this is it. I don't know. There it is. Hard to see on this grayish carpet. Okay, so now this one, turn that over. I'm gonna goop up. Just gonna do 4 on the front and 4 on the back. Leave the middle alone, I think. Place this back in here. Let that sit there. Now, the moment we need, or the distance we need to make sure we need to move over towards the track. About yay much. Okay, now with that done, need to square it up. It looks pretty good. Kind of like that. Got some goop on me. Okay, so that's that. and let that all dry, and we'll see how much how sticky it makes it, and how much of a tack there really is to it. Like I said, I've never used this before, so it's new to me. I just looked it up online today and saw it and thought, I'll try that. So I didn't want to go out on a Black Friday, so I said, let's use Instacart. So I tried that, got that easily enough done. Let's make sure we're level here. Yep. That looks good. Whoa. And that looks pretty good too. I'm just going to set this on here, just balance it. It looks a little off, but I think it's because of the, yeah, I think it's good. All right, so that's my adventure for today. We'll see how this turns out. What I plan on doing here is getting that set in place and cutting these off so that I can follow. This is about 13 degrees, I think, if I remember right. And once I get those dialed in, then I'm going to build a jig, and then I'll get these dialed in, and then figure out the length of these 3 in the middle, get those in right where they need to be lengthwise, and then I'll build a jig, and then kind of just start cutting pieces. I bought an Ultimation sander, which is an awesome tool. This is kind of my Canadian corner here. I got the Hunterline kit going on from Canada, and then I've got the Ultimation sander from Canada going with the actual tool that's helping me build this and doing a marvelous job. I really love that thing. I think it's worth every penny. So if you don't have one, just ask me for details, or get one yourself. They're at ultimationtools.com, or I'll put a link in the description because I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it's .ca because they're in Canada. But nice tool, works well, makes repeating your lengths and your angles pretty effortless. You don't have to monkey around with trying to set up a cutter. This pretty much, you set it and forget it, and just sand your angles in, measure your length, and then you can I just use an old Northwest Shortline chopper that I've had for a while to cut them. You can buy the Ultimation chopper too, but I've got what I've got, and the sander is the main tool in this show, main star of the show as far as I'm concerned. But that's it for now. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, leave a comment. Hopefully I can get back to the more early morning stuff that I've been doing, and maybe do a video when I'm in the midst of getting a jig set up. I still have to kind of measure all this stuff out, make sure it's right, and then I can fashion my jig after that. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, subscribe. I've got 2 whole subscribers. I would like to have more. So if I can get into this routine a little better, maybe that'll improve. But that's it for now. Thanks.